Good afternoon, students. Now, today, I, Dr. Loh Ghorpade, today going to present a paper on the silent feature of Shakespearean tragedy. William Shakespeare, 1564-1666, was an English poet and dramatist, widely regarded as the greatest writer in English language and the world's preeminent dramatist. His surviving work, including some collaboration, consists of 38 plays, 154 sonnets, 2 long narrative poems, 2 epitaphs on a man named John Combe, 1 epitaph on Elias James, and several other poems. These plays have been translated into every major living languages and are performed more often than those of any other playwright. Shakespeare's plays have been divided into comedies and tragedies. Perhaps he is most famous for his tragedies. Most of his tragedies were written in 7 years period between 1601 and 1608, including his 4 major tragedies, Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, and Macbeth, along with Antony and Cleopatra, Olympus, Cymbeline, Julius Caesar, all of which are immediately recognizable, regularly studied in various universities, and frequently performed among the words. The silent features of the tragedies. The tragic hero. First silent features of the Shakespearean tragedy is tragic hero. Tragedy is concerned primarily with one person, the tragic hero, that is the hero, a person of high and noble birth, the person of high rank and noble birth. In Shakespearean tragedy, the hero is always a man of outstanding social status. He may be a king, as in King Lear and Julius Caesar, a prince, as in Hamlet, and a very high official, as in Othello and Macbeth. In his conception of tragic hero, Shakespeare conformed to the tradition of the ancient Greek tragedies of Sophocles, Aeschylus, and Euripides, and Roman tragedies of Seneca, and even the tragic conception of Middle Ages. Bradley says the advantages of Shakespearean conception of the tragic hero is that his fall is more bewildering and conspicuous as contrasted to his former prosperity. Moreover, his fate affects the welfare of the whole nation or empire. Therefore, his tragedy is more enveloping and widespread. Marlowe's heroes are also extraordinary personalities, but they are from humble parentage. Both Marlowe and Shakespeare uses the name of his hero to his tragedy. Moreover, unlike the Shakespeare, in Marlowe's tragedy, there is an absence character of woman. There is an absence of female character. Then another silent features of Shakespearean tragedy is that suffering and death. The story is essentially one of the exceptional suffering and calamity leading to the death of the hero. The suffering and calamity are, as rule, unexpected and contrasted with previous happiness and glory. The hero undergo a series of suffering, hardship, and torture. In the early tragedy, the form of his suffering is physical, but in the latter stages, it is merely a physical torture, but mental affair which sway the rock them. The hero, under the stress of this suffering, appears second in spite of his greatness and heroic capacity. Hamlet, by his mental torture, is virtually laid on the rock. Othello experiences a tempest in his soul. Lear turns mad. Macbeth loses all interest in life and is obliged to characterize it as a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and worry, signifying nothing. Then another characteristic of Shakespearean tragedy is that character's destiny. The tragedy involves a person of high status, therefore his or her fate affects the welfare of whole nation or whole empire. In Shakespearean tragedy, it is the character of the hero which became the important factor to decide his destiny. In fact, character destiny, however, exaggerated his importance may seem to some critic. It is fact that is the character that molds the action of the play. This fact became more important because in Greek tragedy it is the plot which became most important factor, but in Shakespearean tragedy it is the character that is significant. After all, there is hardly any action in Hamlet, yet it is one of the most fascinating tragedies in English literature. Then another characteristic of Shakespearean tragedy is hamartia or tragic flaw. There is a certain tragic flaws in character of the hero of Shakespeare. The hero undergoes a sudden reversal of fortune. This reversal excites and arouses the emotion of pity and fear within the audience. The reversal may frighten or to making viewers or readers of the play feel that man is blind and helpless. The tragic plight of the hero is often triggered by a tragic flaw in the hero's character, which Aristotle terms as hamartia, and which provides the ground for the calamity which eventually overwhelmed him. Bradley observed, Lear's tragedy is the tragedy of donate and short-sightedness. Othello's that of cruelty, Hamlet that of indecision, Macbeth that of ambition, Antony that of neglect of duty, and so on. In Shakespeare, we find a variety of tragic plot, while in Marlowe tragedy, hamartia is common, and that is uncontrolled ambition. Then another characteristic of his tragedy is that the conflict. The conflict is of two kinds, both of which generally on simultaneously in Shakespearean tragedy. Shakespeare often introduces abnormal condition of mind such as insanity, hallucination. Beside the outward conflict between individual or group of individual, there is also an inner conflict and torment within the soul of tragic hero. Antony's mind is torn between the opposite pole of love and duty. Macbeth between those of ambition and duty. In Romeo and Juliet and Richard II, the conflict is almost entirely external. A lot of bloodshed is generally found in Shakespearean tragedy. In Marlowe's tragedy, the conflict is only eternal within the mind and heart of hero. Further, he began to pay much importance to chance happening, role of chance. Chance play an important role in the tragedy of hero. Much of the plot seems to hinge on chance or accident. In Romeo and Juliet, it is by chance that the hero does not get the clearest message about the position, and hero does not awake from her long sleep a little earlier. In Hamlet, it was a chance that Hamlet's ship was attacked by pirates and he was back in Denmark to face the tragic end. Some people think that the introducing element of chance is manipulate the action of the play to suit one's own purpose. But this is not correct because chance or accident is as much of real life as any normal happening. But where Shakespeare has provided superior to many other playwrights is that he keeps the role of chance within the probable limit. He does not allow even chance or incident to take more important than the character of the hero. The another features of supernatural element. Supernatural elements are often introduced in Shakespeare's play. He gives a large place to supernatural. This is because he wrote for an audience which had a linking for the fabulous and the marvelous. There are witches in Macbeth, ghosts in Hamlet, haughty music in Antony and Cleopatra. These have a close relation with the abnormal condition of mind of protagonist. Hamlet's mobility of mind is connected with appearance of the ghost in the first act, and in Mother's Closet, Macbeth lusts for power aroused by the witches. Then another and important characteristic of the Shakespearean tragedy is that no poetic justice. There is no poetic justice in Shakespearean tragedy. In region of poetic justice, where virtue is rewarded and vice is punished, Shakespeare has his own laws, which are the laws of the living world and not of the theory. In Shakespearean tragedy, we find that it is not only the evil that is punished, but along with it, the good and virtuous has to be suffered. Yet it is true to nature that Shakespeare knows once the evil is afoot, it will be also taken in its trained goodness too. That is the all features of Shakespearean tragedy. Thank you.